Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to an overview of the webinar we hosted last night called The Four Most Important Pieces of the Framework Required to Build a Large Duplicating Team that 90% of network marketers don't have. Now, if you were live on the webinar, guys, I appreciate those of you that are with us every single week that are live, as well as the new people that we had last night. Unfortunately, we're not able to record that webinar, so this is just uh, the high points, the meat. Um, there was a technical glitch. It wasn't human error last night. Usually it's human error, but there was actually a technical glitch with our webinar provider last night. So I want to get into this. This is probably, normally if there's human error, which there have been several times over the last year or so, I just go on, don't even think about it twice, and don't worry about it. However, what I covered last night is so important, I believe, for people in the network marketing profession right now, the people that are career minded, that really want to build a network marketing organization to create wealth for themselves and their family and financial independence. I had to redo this, and I'm just on a time crunch, so I'm going to give you an overview. Apologize for not going through the whole thing, but I appreciate those of you that were on with us last night. This is the most important information I believe I can share right now at this moment in history. And I promise you, if you have a growing team right now, what I'm getting ready to share with you, it was not designed for you necessarily, specifically you. But if you do have a growing team, I'm going to show you something that will be mind blowing. And as I was doing it last night, I realized, dang, I should have put this out separately. And because I'm going to share with you how to take your team the last part of this year and absolutely take it to an entirely different level. And I don't care if you're already making 100,000, 250,000, a half a million, $1 million or more a year. One of the things that I'm going to share with you, if you implement it properly, it's going to take everything to a whole different level. So, with that said, again, that's you are not the people that this was designed for, and it was almost like an afterthought. And after I did it, I thought, should I have done it? And then I've had calls today from six-figure earners saying, Dale, that's going to help me so much. That's going to help my team so much. Blah blah blah. So let's get into it. I've always believed in a two-step recruiting process. Step one is to generate a lead. Multiple ways to do that, online, offline, it doesn't matter. A lead is a lead is a lead, except when you launch your business. I believe that people should always launch their business in their local market. I don't even think it's debatable. I think common sense dictates that, regardless of what all the attraction markers have told us. Just stay online and work from your computer and travel around the world and get wealth and build your team and blah, 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 and blah. It's all Kool-Aid. It's junk. It's not true. Don't drink that Kool-Aid. Go to 7-lies.com. Do not drink that Kool-Aid. It makes no sense from a human nature, psychological flow, credibility standpoint. And again, I get into much detail about that at MLMhelp.com/sponsor more. And I know some of you are listening to me. You've never heard me before. You don't know where I'm coming from. You can learn more about me than you would ever want to know. Just do the research. Let me just put it as simply as I can. When we were building teams, and we retired from building teams a long time ago, but we've been training and consulting with high-level coaches and companies since that time. It's not something I ever anticipated or ever tried to do. Let me give you the short version real quick. Here's the bottom line. We develop more 5 and 6-figure income earners on our team than any modern day guru that's in the marketplace around the world teaching you how to do this business that I'm aware of. got started when I was 20 years old. I was living in a tiny 600 square foot home driving a beat up Chevette. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was smart enough to know that I didn't know what I was doing. This was about the time that a Sony Walkman came out. And the Sony Walkman is the reason I had the opportunity to speak with you today. My sponsor quit 2 weeks after I joined. He left me an order form where I could order cassette tapes of different seminars and events that had been held around the country. And I started ordering those cassettes. And then I started ordering cassettes. I was involved with the Shackley Corporation at the time. I started ordering Herbalife cassettes, Amway cassettes, Mary Kay cassettes, and I burnt those tapes up. 8 hours, 10 hours a day. My first 3 years, I listened to over 7,500 hours of audio. To put that in perspective, if you were listening to 2 hours of training a day, it would take you about 14 years to listen to what I was able to listen to in 3 years. And it gave me a different perspective and understanding on this business, I believe, than anybody that's ever walked planet Earth. And you say, well, Dale, that sounds egotistical. It's not that. It's humbling. Because I was given an opportunity that 99.99% of the people will never have. And it gave me a different perspective. Because as I listened to all these leaders, I realized there's about 5 different types of leaders. You got Mr. and Mrs. High Credibility. You have the Elvis. You've got the money-focused people. And I'm not going to get into that training. I've done that online. You can find it. The different types of leaders that are at the top of every network marketing, I call them 3%ers. And I started to understand as I listened that people like myself, I call them the 27%ers, good, average, hardworking people, could not duplicate the personality of the quote-unquote leaders in every network marketing company I was aware of. There has to be something else. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be more systems to it. There's got to be more systematic approach. Most people don't have the attitude that they can do anything. We have to help people with their belief in themselves and their skill and, their personal development. And it's not just about skill sets. It's also about mindsets and all the things that I talk about. You can go to MLMsuccess.com and you'll hear story after story of people, 27%ers that started with nothing and achieved unbelievable success. They're part of that 5- and 6-figure earner team. And then we have some people, we have other stories from other people that we've worked with and never worked with as well. Why am I saying that? Because the documentation is there. In 2000, I got so frustrated, aggravated with the dissipation that was occurring in network marketing. And I didn't understand it totally at that time the way I do now. But I said, I'm done. I've been there, done there, got the T-shirt, I'm done. And you can learn more about this whole concept because network marketing is in a state of dissipation. There's no question about that because we've gotten away from our foundational roots of a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. And you can hear that webinar, mlmhelp.com/critical as well, that will explain that in detail. But I got started. My first 3 years, I wanted to quit every day. 1983, all these cassettes, everything I was listening to, it came together at one time, in one moment in my life. Okay, it was like everything I'd listened to for 3 years. I had to be at IBM at 6 o'clock in the morning. I got there. I was kind of still not even woke up yet. And it was like my subconscious mind opened up and started pouring out what I call the leadership development concept. And I started writing as fast as I could because I didn't want to miss any of it. And then we implemented it. In my first 3 years, I wanted to quit every day. I made every mistake everybody makes, talking too much, working hard, but not getting nowhere, looking for that nugget and all that. I'm not about nuggets. I'm not about tips. I'm about systems. I'll make that very clear. And again, I'm talking to new people, people that hear me every week. Please give me a second here. My 4th year, we were in the top 5 in that company for volume. And this is after struggling for 3 years. My 5th year, 2 of the top 5 money earners are award winners in that company that year were frontline to me. After 5 years, I was able to leave IBM. Never had a job since. It still took me 9 years to get to $92,000 a year. 9 years. Still hadn't broke that six-figure magic mark. But my 10th year jumped to $252,000. And before I go on from there, it's documented. Most people that get to six figures a year in network marketing, most of the people that do it this year in 2016 will not be involved in the network marketing profession 5 years from now. Something is bad wrong. They will not, and some of you think, well, Dale, not me. I will be here, man. I'm going to, okay. History, that's the documented facts about this profession. Why? How can that happen? I know why it happened. Because they were 3%ers that grinded it out, and they never had the leadership development paradigm shift. They never understood it's not about them. It's about what can be duplicated by the 27%ers. And they grind it out. And how many times have you heard, well, I was making money, but nobody on my team was? Guys, it's so common. It's scary. It's right in front of our face. Right there. And we just ignore it. We act like it doesn't exist. It does. I know it exists. I know why it exists. It existed when I started years ago, and I said there's got to be a better way. And here's how I discovered this. It was like I would hear somebody on a cassette, and I'd think, how in the heck did that person, it's like, they're doing everything. They're doing everything for everybody. It's like they're Elvis. They're a big cut up. They're a big kid. They like to be in front of the crowd. And then I would go, and I remember coming into actually Marietta, Georgia to an event. And I started asking people about this lady because I knew she was from Marietta. And they said, oh no, she's not in the business anymore. And I kept hearing, oh no, she's not in the business anymore. Oh no, he's not in the business anymore. Because I wanted to meet a lot of these people. So I got a different perspective that most people will never have the opportunity to get. So where was I? My 10th year finally hit $252,000. My 11th year, it jumped to $1.1 million. By design. Because I had a whole group of people right behind me, learning the skill sets, learning the mindsets, focused on mastering one of the 5 cores wherever they were at the time. That what we teach at, DaleCalvert.com/core. We went from 252 to 1.1 million. Then our 13th year, we went to 3.3 million. Our 14th year, we went to 3.8 million. We created over 1,000 5 and 6 figure earners on our team and a few millionaires. And I was done because by that time, 2000, the internet Kool-Aid was being drank by everybody. We're going to learn to be the hunted instead of the hunter, and the attraction marketing crap that has absolutely proven now 15 years down the road that that's not the answer. You aren't going to take the 97% that fail and turn the numbers around and make 97% are going to succeed, and all the stuff we've all heard. Here's what people don't understand. The real product in this industry always has been, always will be people. It's not about marketing hacks, funnels, Google AdWords, social media, this, that, and the other. There's nothing wrong with any of that. We use it all heavily in our other businesses my wife and I operate. But network marketing is about developing people. If you build people, people will build the business. That's what it's about. And so that's where we're coming from. Again, I know we have a lot of people that registered last night. We had some new people that were with us the very first time. So I just wanted to give you that synopsis. Now let's get into what we are here for. This is the process. Always has been, always will be the most effective process because there's a very consistent psychological flow for people. You generate a lead. Why do people respond? They respond out of curiosity. That's why they respond. They're curious about your body wrap. They're curious about your weight loss product. They're curious about that video of the skincare product they saw online. Whatever. They pick up a brochure. They see a flyer at Starbucks and it says, "Career frustrated. I make more money than my husband does every month." And it's got a picture of attractive looking woman there. And it's got pull tab flyers. It says, "Visit my website." And they tear off the pull tab flyer. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Lead generation is the easiest part of this business. But the point I want to make is, why do people respond? They're curious. Their timing may be right in their life. Okay, so they go to play one. Now, in the old days, play one was a flip book. I cannot tell you how many hours I spent at Denny's and coffee shops going through a pitch book and around people's kitchen tables. Go through the pitch book, and the pitch book created curiosity. That was play one. The job is always create curiosity, and then if they're at the end of that, I always ask the same question: are you open for more information? And they said, "Well, yeah, I'd kind of like to learn more about what you're doing." And I said, "What are you doing Monday night?" And then I would invite them to a live event. So today, it's the same process. It's the same questions, because it's the same human nature flow. Curiosity gets them to play one. They're still curious. They go to play two. Play two is when they get to hear the entire story. They hear the entire story. After they've heard the entire story, it's like, they're probably ready now. They're kind of really curious now. They're really ready. Now, let me back up just a second, because I want to keep talking about psychological flow. Curiosity creates the lead. Play one increases the curiosity. Okay, so you go through, play one can be whatever. There's a lot of different play one options today's world, but play one just increases curiosity. Usually it can be a lead capture page with a short video, okay, or whatever. Here's where people blow it. There was a time when play one was a VHS tape, and we would mail these out around the country. If it was somebody locally, I'd sit down in their living room and watched it with them. And when the VHS is over, or after they watched it, somebody's in North Dakota and they just watched the VHS tape, and they call me, and the only question is, "Hey, are you open for more information?" And they say, "Yeah." And then you know what they'll really do if they're a really good prospect? They start drilling you with questions. They'll say, "Well, tell me a little bit more about this product, and how do I get paid when this happens?" And here's what happens, guys. They start asking questions because they're curious. And every time we answer their question, the curiosity diminishes, until all of a sudden in their mind they satisfy the curiosity. Therefore, they'll make a decision based upon what they know at that point, and they never hear the entire story. I hope I've communicated what I've just tried to communicate to you. The secret to recruiting is a psychological human flow that creates and maintains curiosity. So play one, they respond to the lead. Play two, they're curious. At the end of play one is always, "Are you open for more information?" They're going to say, "Well, yeah, I'm open." And I can't tell you how many times I say, yeah, I'm open, Dale. But what about this? What about that? And the next question is, "What are you doing Monday night?" And they would say, "Well, I don't think I have anything Monday night, but tell me about that product again. Does this do this? Does that do?" "What are you doing Monday night?" "I don't think I'm doing anything." "Great. Listen, I'll pick you up, or I'll meet you at Starbucks, and we're going to go over to the Holiday Inn. We'll get your questions answered. Where's my video? Okay, Dale, we'll do that Monday night. But what about that? What about? And I maintain curiosity. I get out of there, It's like, I've got to go. I got other people that I got to show this video to. Uh, I'll meet you at Starbucks. I'll meet you at the coffee shop Monday night, 6:45 at 7 o'clock. We'll go over the Holiday Inn. We'll get your questions answered. Okay, that was the play 2. Are y'all following what I want you to follow the psychological flow, because it has not changed. You know why? Because the real product in this industry always has been, always will be, people. So play 1, you create curiosity. Play 1, you create curiosity. Originally, they respond to a lead. Why? Because they're curious. Play 1, you kind of create more curiosity. Play 2, what are you doing Monday night? Well, I don't think I have anything planned. Got a pen? Write down this web address. Our company's going to be doing a Google Hangout. It's a live online meeting. You can watch it. It'll answer all your questions. Okay, great, Dale, but could you tell me? It'll hold the questions. Key term alert. Hold the questions. Hold the questions. That'll all be answered for you Monday night. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, there's just a few things you have to learn in this process. Nobody else is teaching this. They're teaching you how to get on social media and act like something you're not, how to blog so you can attract people, and really what that translates to is how to blog so they can sell you their $500 blogging course. I'm just being real, and I know what I know. So you create a lead, you create curiosity, and then you let them hear the entire story. After they've heard the entire story, there's only one question you ask. What questions do I need to get answered for you before we get you started tonight? That's it. Guys, what I've just shared with you is real. It's $1 million. It's $1 million information. The problem is you're going to hear it and then you're going to go still look for the foo-foo dust because the Pillsbury Doughboy is doing an event in my city, so I got to go hear what he says, even though the guy's never built a team or whoever. It doesn't matter. I mean, the whoever. Again, you always ask yourself, who is this person? Why should I be listening to them? $10,000 a month income earners in network marketing are a dime a dozen. You're looking for people who've taught people who've taught people who've taught people. Because that can be duplicated. You know who can be duplicated by? You. So at the end, after they've heard, now here's what should be happening today. This is what happens for a lot of the people that we work with one-on-one. They understand this process. Every week, their company, say every Thursday night, they do a live webinar, and they've told people, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? Nothing. Okay, I want you to write down this web address. All your questions are going to be answered for you Thursday night. As soon as this online presentation is over, you got my phone number? Yeah, call me as soon as it's over. And this is what you want to create today in today's world. Thursday night, webinar's over. Sally calls. Hey, Sally, hey, Dale, this is Sally. You told me to call you. Great, Sally. What questions do we need to answer? Click, 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 click. Wait, hold on just a second, Sally. Hey, Jim, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing good. Dale, you told me to call you. Yeah, Jim, I'm on the phone. Can I call you right back? Yeah, okay. Sally, I'm back. Listen, what question? Click, 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 click. Hey, wait, hold on just a second, Sally. Hey, Jerome, how are you doing, buddy? Dale, you told me to call you when it was over. Yeah. Jerome, can I call you right back? I'm on another line. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Sally, I think I'm back. Whew. Anyway, I was just asking you, what questions do I need to answer? Beep, beep, beep. Wait, hold on just a second. Hold on. Hey, Dwayne, this is Dale. Yeah. Can I call you right back, buddy? I'm on another line. Yeah, okay. I might not be able to get to you tonight because I have several people I have to call back. Okay, but I'll get to you as soon as I can. Okay, bye. Okay, Sally. Hopefully that'll be it. What questions do I need to answer for you before we get you started tonight? Let's say Sally was on the fence. Is she going to have a little bit of fear of loss? Because she knows about 3 or 4 other people who just clicked in on you trying to, because they just got off the webinar as well. And let's say Sally, what questions do I need to answer for you before we get you started tonight? Well, Dale, I don't think I'm not a salesperson. I don't think blah blah. Hey, and here's what you do. This is always the answer. Hey, no problem. Whew, no problem. If you were going to do this business, who was the first person you would talk to? Because I know you were thinking about somebody. And shut up. Don't say another word. Let her speak. I cannot tell you how many people say, well, Dale, I don't know if I want to give you, my good people because, I think maybe I want to talk to them. Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were not open. I thought you were not interested in doing this. I thought you said you weren't a salesman. Well, maybe I could. Okay, do you understand? Fear of loss is the number one motivator to human beings. And what happens is when Sally says, nah, I don't think I'm interested, then the natural response, they're expecting us to just jump all over. Okay, tell her how great she would, how much money she can make, why she should. Don't do that. If you want to be successful, do the opposite of what everybody else does, and especially what people are teaching today. Then you call back the next person. Hey, Dwayne, this is Dale. Listen, man, I'm sorry it took me a few minutes to get back to you. I got a list of people I'm trying to follow up with tonight. Listen, I just need to ask you one question, and that is, what questions do I need to answer for you before we get you started tonight? Did you hear how I said that? He's thinking, man, everybody he's talked to's already got started. I don't guess I have any questions. How'd I get started, Dale? Are you all? It's a psychological human flow. And again, that's not the purpose of this tonight, but I want you to feel it. I want you to see it. I want you to understand it. The most important question I'm going to ask you tonight is, what's your clearly defined play one? What is it? What do you, when you create a lead locally or online, what is your play one? Where are you sending them right now to capture their information? Where do you send them? The next question is, what is your clearly defined play two that enables a prospect to hear the entire story? And I will tell you, until you have figured those out and solidified those two things, there's no way you're going to build a team. It's no way. It's just not going to happen. So play one and play two has evolved over the years with technology. Yes, there was a time. There's sales types that can go out, and I'll tell you this story, and I've probably told it before, but it's just, there's no question about this. This has been probably 10, 15 years ago. I was hired to do a corporate event, keynote speaker in Dallas. It's a Saturday event. I was speaking Saturday afternoon, and this was like on Thursday and before the event, and the owner of the company calls me. He said, hey, Dale, I see we booked your flights. Yeah, any questions? No, good. I said, all I request is if a lapel mic is available, I would appreciate having a lapel mic. Other than that, I'm easy to work with. And he said, great. He said, look, I noticed you were coming in Friday night, and we're having a leadership meeting for our leaders. And he said, it's at your hotel that we've got you booked at. If you want to come, we'd love to have you. It's at this. And I said, yeah, I'll be there. So I went in. I didn't know anybody at all. Didn't know any of the leaders. I'd met the owner one time. I sat down, met a few nice people. We were eating. And right before the dessert came, the owner comes up to me and he says, hey, Dale, he said, could you take maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes and say something before we dismiss them tonight? And I said, all right. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be happy to. And I'm sitting there eating my cheesecake thinking, what am I going to say to this group of people? But I'd been listening to all their stories because I'm a great listener. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And I was listening. And when I got up, I said, yeah, my name's Dale Calvert. I'm going to be the guest speaker tomorrow, and I appreciate being invited here and look forward to meeting you guys and learning more about you. And I said, I was asked to say a couple of words, and the question I would ask you guys tonight is, how many of you in here, and there was probably 20, maybe 25 of the top leaders. I said, how many of you tried to sponsor someone between the time you left your home and the time you got to Dallas? And it was every one of them. Every one of them raised their hand. And I said, awesome. I said, did any of you actually sponsor somebody? And like 3 of them did. One lady had sponsored a person on the airplane. Another person had sponsored somebody on a taxi cab driver, and somebody had sponsored one of the people at the hotel. And I said, guys, I can promise you that is your biggest problem. And they all looked at me like, why in the world did you hire this guy? And I said, look, I'm not trying to offend you, but you're what's called a 3%er. And I promise you, the majority of people on your team would never feel comfortable trying to sponsor somebody beside them on the airplane, in the taxi cab, or at the hotel. They need different direction than you need it. You're using your God-given talent, skills, ability, credibility, gift of gab to do the business, but most people on your team, good people that want to do it, can do it, don't have that. And you have to recognize that if you want to maximize the growth of your organization. Play 1, play 2. A lot of people, they join network marketing, they think all of a sudden they have to become Joey car salesperson. That's not the way it is, okay? Don't even think about that. And there's nothing wrong with car salespeople. But you know what I'm saying. So do you know what your play 1 and play 2 is? So the process, guys, is the same. It doesn't matter what year it is. The psychological flow is the same. After you launch your business and master local lead generation, again, you always launch it with people that you know. And I'm not going to get into that, but psychologically, to stack your odds for success, that's how you do it. That's how you need to teach your people to do it. And I get so frustrated with these people that call and say, well, Dale, my upline won't let me start yet because I don't have 1,000 friends on Facebook yet. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you really, are you kidding me? Dale, I've got my blog started. My upline told me I had to get a blog, and I've joined Lead System XYZ, this, guru, blah, 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 some kind of affiliate program where the upline could put extra $100 in their pocket before they quit because they're going to burn them out. And again, you guys know what I'm talking about. So local lead generation is what you should master next, for the same reason that you should launch people's business with people they know. And there's multiple ways to do that. Okay, I have a whole course on that. Multiple ways. You'll never run out of ways to generate leads. But the flow is the same thing. You create a lead, and then curiosity, play 1. Most people today, play 1 is a lead capture page of some kind. After the person goes to the lead capture page, they follow up, and they want to send them to where they can hear the whole story, whether that is a webinar, conference call, maybe even a live event, whatever it is. And then some people say, well, when you get leads, you just get them on the phone with me. You call me, 3-way me, and I'll close them for you. Okay, if you have an upline like that, read pinnaclemomleadership.com. Go check that out. Okay, the uplines that want you to get them on the phone and close them for you after they've only went to your lead capture page and they haven't heard the whole story yet, doesn't understand what I'm trying to communicate. I agree. After they've heard the whole story and they call you and they say, and you say, what questions do I need to answer for you before we get you started? And they ask you a question that you're not certain of, then definitely get an upline on the phone. Okay, but an upline's job is and some uplines thrive on this again because it's the Elvis complex, but they want to teach you, they want to close them for you. It's a hero thing. Okay, this business is not about closing, because if you have to close them to join, then they're never going to do anything after they join. It's about finding 3 to 5 people a year that want it as bad as you do. So the process: generate a lead. That can be online or offline. This is just many of the different ways, magazine routes and magnetic signs and drop cards and bulletin board flyers and buttons and drop and door hangers. If you don't know how to recruit with a button, go check out the button training at momsuccess.com. It amazes me that companies will put flip pages, flip books, and kits and not put buttons. It's just fascinating to me. The most unduplicatable way to build a business is with a pitch book. I quit using a pitch book as soon as 30% of the population own a video VCR. Okay, because it's all about duplication. It's about what can the 27%er do. Most people are terrified to think they have to sit down in a coffee shop and do a pitch book. Oh, no, Dale, but you don't understand. When you flip this page, it'll tell you right in front of me on the other side, it tells you exactly what to read to them. And somebody tell me that last week. Dale, our pitch book it tells you exactly what to read. And I said, look, go listen to my training on 5 levels of communication, and then we'll talk about this. You're never going to sponsor somebody reading to them, guys, just so you know. I believe the 2 most mandatory tools in today's network marketing world, number 1 are drop cards. I believe in drop cards because drop cards, you don't have to go out to prospect. When you are out, you can prospect. Drop cards are a great tool. I've talked about that many times. You can go to mlmhelp.com, type in the word drop card, and you can talk about it. I love it because your time's the most valuable asset that you have, and when you go pick up your Chinese food, you can drop a few drop cards on the counter. You go pick up your dry cleaning, you can drop a few drop cards on the counter. You go through the drive-through window, you can get your food and hand the card to the person that gave you the food and say, please give this to your manager. And you get in a mode where you just, when you go out, you take 30, 40, 50 drop cards with you, and you just, you use them as you live life, and it requires no extra time. So that's why I love drop cards. That's the number 1 reason. The second is the ability to create an email list with a lead capture page that you can control. Now, in July 2015, I did a survey. Some of you know it was about that time that I decided that for the first time ever, after being involved in this industry for over 30 years, that I was really going to take some time and focus on developing network marketing support services. It's been around since the mid-90s, but it was primarily set up to support my teams when I was building. And then when I retired in 2000, my phone started ringing. People wanted me to come and do keynotes at corporate conventions and do super Saturdays and do webinars for their team on local lead generation and a lot of the stuff that we teach. And it created a whole business that I never had intended on and never really decided to build. My wife and I operate 4 other businesses. We have a digital publishing company. We have writers that write for us all over the world. We have a fundraising service business. We work with schools and nonprofit organizations, and we have 2 product-oriented websites that we're building to eventually sell. And they keep us as busy as we want to be. So in 2015, when I made this decision, I went in and shut down about 80% of my sites that sell training programs that we have. And I figured in 90 days it'd be all back up. I'd get everything restructured and redone, and that has not happened, by the way. It's almost been a year. But the first one was our newspaper sponsoring course, and we did get that back up. And before I kind of reworked that a little bit and took it from being offline to online, I sent out a survey to everybody that ever purchased that course, and there was hundreds of people, maybe thousands, I don't even remember, but there was a ton of people who sold a lot of that course over the years. And we taught people how to run ads and, online and offline classifieds, and, in places like Thrifty Nickel and local papers and online sites as well. And so I sent out a survey, and the first one of the questions was, what lead capture page are you using currently in your business? And I was beyond disturbed at the answers. I was just flabbergasted, honestly, because 80% of the active people that were building or thought they were building network marketing organizations had no Play One. They had no lead capture page to send people. And you know what? It's still 80% today. Most people have not been taught what I've shared with you tonight about psychological flow, creating curiosity, maintaining it, play one, play two, one question to close. They're taught 99 closing techniques. They go to a closing school for 2 hours, and somebody gets up and shares with them 99 ways to close people in the business and all this other worthless use of time. And I told my wife, I said, I don't know why I've decided to focus on network marketing support service. I mean, for me, this is marketing 101. And then, my mom said, Dale, you have to understand, you've been doing this for a long, long time, honey. You've been involved in network marketing. You've had traditional businesses. You've been involved in direct sales. You just have to understand that a lot of these people haven't, been taught, the right things. And a lot of them, as you telling me, are following people that have really never built teams. And they've never, so, it's just going to take a while. You got to be patient, that kind of thing from your mom, you guys can imagine. But it really, it's been something that's been bothering me ever since. And it's increased, it has not decreased. So tonight what we're going to do is we're making our we've never done this before, new VIP lead capture page service available for a limited number of people, and this is definitely not for everyone. I am not in the lead capture business. I have no desire to do this, but I want to make sure that the people that I communicate with every Thursday and the people that are involved in our MM training club and our Network Marketing Leadership Development Academy have the tools that they need to be able to progress and move forward in their business. Listen, if you've already got a lead capture page and autoresponder system that you can control, this is not for you. You can just log out right now. There's not going to be a lot more value that I can share with you in this presentation. Oh, except let me say this. If you're a leader that has a growing team, I'm getting ready to blow your mind. Don't you leave, because the leaders that have growing teams, I'm getting ready to show you something I didn't even think about when I did this last night, but I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind. So hang on here, because if you're a leader, okay, and you have a growing team, because I'm going to show you something that I promise you, what I'm going to show you will take your business from where you are by the end of the year. It will take it to an entirely different level, and it has nothing to do with lead capture, okay? But I'm going to show you that as well. So, Dale, why are you doing this? Number one is because there's a desperate need in the market. Number two, it gives more customers custom work to one of our web developers, and I can stay on his priority list. He does a lot of these for us. And honestly, so I can maintain some form of sanity. Honestly, it's just I have to do it. Now, It's for 60 people, actually 40 because 20 spots have already been reserved for our Leadership Academy people. Okay. It's a 2 day. It's my web guy can do 2 a day. So I want this project to be done and finished in 30 days. For those of you watching the replay, which would be all of you, since I'm doing a replay, this is over Sunday night, June 5th at midnight. Over, done, or until we fill up. We're not full yet. If you already have a lead capture page and autoresponder system that you can control, this is probably not for you unless you're a leader that has a growing team. And there's a part of this that I hadn't even thought about till last night that I should have done this separately, honestly. Okay, this is much, much more. I'm going to talk about lead generation systems, and that's what many of you listening to me right now need. Okay, but it has a back end that even if you don't need a lead capture page and you're a leader, I'm going to share with you the back end leadership training tool for your team. It's trademarked and copyrighted, so don't even think about trying to knock me off. In this back office area I'm going to show you in just a second, it features reason sheet, 20 reasons, top 3, until you know why the how doesn't matter, video training, weekly progress reports, training articles, and more. And you can add content to this as well, which I recommend that you do. Okay, let me show you this because this is going to blow your mind. Okay, now the back end is available to everybody. Okay, it's not just, let me see how to, give me a second here. It's available for everybody. I'm going to mainly talk about lead capture page, but I want you to see this. Right here, I know this is off screen, but this is our Leadership Academy website. But imagine this being a lead capture page that's for you, customized for you. Okay, imagine that. And then imagine, and again, if you're a leader and you said, oh, I already got a lead capture page. Okay, if you're a leader, you can say the training site of Jane Doe and have your picture here. Okay. But everybody, this is part of the whole process, the whole package. Now, over here it says members log in. I think that's off the screen, but to the right-hand corner it says members log in, so we'll log in. And I just want to show you what's in the back end here, because those of you that don't have a growing team yet, you hang around, you will, because that's my focus, is to help you develop a growing team, and I can do it. I can help you if you'll do your part. I know that. So hold on just a second here. Let me log in. Okay. All right. Let me try something else. My internet's running slow because I'm trying to record this while I'm online. So hold on just a second. I think I might have a couple of cookie issues too. It worked perfect last night, but I wasn't on this computer. Okay. Okay, we got a drop down box now. Okay. 20 reasons. All right, so you'll have this in your back office. And again, even if you're a leader, or just imagine this as your team develops. What's the first thing we always ask people to do? People that are plugged into our systems, what we're doing. First thing is always 20 reasons. So we go to 20 reasons, and I'm trying to scroll down here. Oh, this is so aggravating. It's just way too slow for some reason today. But I wanted to show you this. But anyway, you got. Let me just explain it because I don't know if this is going to work at this time. Okay, you got 20 reasons. Okay, if we scroll down here, gosh, I want to show this to you. Yeah, good. Okay, there's Earl Nightingale, Strangest Secret. Okay, that y'all have heard me talk about many times. That's why we came up with the reasons. And then they put in their name, their email, and then you got their top 3 reasons for doing the business, and then they have a 20 reasons sheet. And they come down here. Every new person that joins your team, they sign it, and they click submit. And when they click submit, it goes directly to you through email. So you'll have a copy of every person on your team and why they're doing the business. Again, until you know why, the how doesn't matter. Network marketers, we love to say, you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want, and most people don't know what people on their team want. Okay, then we have a weekly progress report. This is, imagine, from a leadership standpoint. And before I show you this, remember, this is a law. That which is monitored can be improved upon. A lot of people on your team, they're putzing around on social media, and they're rearranging the paper clips in their desk drawer, and they tell you how hard they're working the business. The numbers don't lie. The facts are the facts. The numbers are the numbers. There's no emotion in numbers. So this is a company report. Okay, now, again, I'm not going to let me click on this. And hopefully you're able to see most of this on the screen. So company report, every person on your team, they come in once a week, and this is usually good. It needs to be done the night or surrounding your event, the event that you build for. So let's say the weekly Thursday night conference call or webinar that your company holds. Then you ask them to submit this every week prior to the webinar. Okay, connect it with an event where they're already going to be, that you already want them to be participating in to start with. Does that make sense? So say your webinar is at 10 o'clock on Thursday night. I need you to have this to me by Thursday at 9 o'clock. Your name, your email. We've set this up for Sundays, but you can be whatever day. What's your biggest win this week? See, a good week unrecognized diminishes. A bad week not fostered increases. So you need to know where they were this week. What date is your goal for your next rank promotion? What's the number one hurdle you have right now? And for those of you that have gone through the road to $10,000 a month in network marketing, and you understand the concept of hurdles, it's real important. How can you help people progress and move forward if you don't know what their hurdle is? How can you recommend a book or a video that can help them if you don't know what their hurdle is? Because see, here's the reality. Everybody on your team is either progressing and moving forward, or they never got started because you didn't give them the game plan to launch their business, or they're in front of a hurdle. And you have to recognize when people are in front of a hurdle so you can help them move forward. Maybe it's whatever. It could be time management. It could be not scared of the phone. It could be all kinds of things. But how is you as a leader, if your real product is people and moving people forward, you got to know what the hurdle is, and so you can help them get past it. And then they enter their totals for the week. How many phone calls did you make this week to existing customers, potential customers, and business prospects? And they get a point. So let's say they made 5 calls. 5 times 20 would be 100 points. Approximately number of leads and business opportunity, products or services you generated this week. How many leads did you create for your products or your business? Times 5. They get points. Then, briefly describe activities you are doing to create leads. You get 5 points per activity, maximum 50 points. So they put in drop cards, bulletin board flyers. I did a trade show this week, blah, 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 up to 50 points. As a leader, again, is it valuable to know what activities your people are doing to build their business? I mean, we got to get down to where the rubber hits the road, guys. We have this relationship in network marketing where leaders say, look, I'm not going to ask you hard questions. I just want you to hang around and stay on autoship and try to get your 3 so yours is free. Okay, that's not leadership. That's not leadership. If leadership doesn't challenge people, then they can't help people move forward. How many members did you personally sponsor? They get 50 points for every member. Number of events, company conference calls, Dale Calvert webinars attended this week, 10 points each. Total for the week, and they just add it up and they put their total. This doesn't add everything up for them. They got to actually get out their calculator or use their brain. And then you submit the progress report. They submit it. It comes to you because you're the owner of this back-end site. Okay, imagine this, guys. As a leader, if your real goal is to build people and help people move forward, get them in, keep them in, help them move forward. Do you see the value in being able to, for them, first of all, to be able to monitor what they're really doing? Notice we don't say how many posts did you put on Pinterest this week or whatever. It's about the things that really build a business, the real activities that really move businesses and people forward. This is invaluable. I should have charged $10,000 for leaders to be able to use this. Honestly, I mean it's worth so much more than that. So it's all right here. Okay, we also have articles. Okay, some of you have that. It's 24 best articles in network marketing. Also, in your site, everyone that's listening to get started on this, we're also going to put a PDF of the top emails from the top marketers in the world, kind of a swipe file that you can model your emails off of. So that'll be in yours. 20 reasons. Ask Dale will not be. We'll put some webinar and replays and video training there for you. We have articles, then we have resource and training. We probably won't put maybe a video or two. And then Facebook group, you can do a link directly to your Facebook group there if you like. And again, you can add all kinds of content to this. We're just going to load it for you from the beginning, and we're going to customize it again to your particular email address. So when people on your team fill out the 20 reasons sheet, you'll get it in your email. Now, here's the deal, guys. We're building this on a system that's like $300. And honestly, the name WordPress, Optimized Press, we're building it on that for you. Our development team will. So I needed to show you that to the leaders. I mean, to me, if you're a leader, just that is work. I mean, that right there, done. You need it. It's going to help you. It's going to help you help people. It's going to help your people have some type of accountability and not fool themselves, and to thy own self be true. And I can go on and on and on, but reality is you either get it or you don't. And I understand that. So I'm not going to, I'm just fired up about it. Really fired up about it and excited. Okay. Where are we here? I'm just going to go through this real quickly and show you. It's for actually the first 40 people because we set aside 20 slots. We want this to be done in 30 days. If you already have a lead capture autoresponder, again, this is not for you. I've showed you the back end, okay? Now, I want you to listen real closely. If you have questions, I took questions live last night, but you can send them until Sunday night to momsuccesspodcast@gmail.com if you have questions about what I'm getting ready to share with you. Hopefully you won't. I'll try to explain this. If you're not a Network Marketing Training Club member, The first fee for you to set this up, first fee is $97. It's $97. If you're a training club member, it's $37. Now, if you try to join the training club for $4.99 first month and then $20 each month afterwards, and then get one of these websites will automatically disqualify you. I'm not playing games. Please don't play games for me. This is a true benefit for existing network marketing training club members. And I've told you guys I'm going to be doing more things like this in the future for training club members. Okay, $97 if you're not. For Network Marketing Leadership Development Academy members, it's 100% free. Okay, it's free to you guys. Yes, there is a catch because we have to offset the customization and development cost to make this work for you and our development team. Okay, so there is a fee. Let me show you how this works. Step one, you've got 25 different lead capture pages to choose from. Let me see if I can pull these up. Okay, let me just show you some of them. They're really, some of them are for video, some of them are for like ebooks or whatever. All the text here you can change to whatever you want it to say. You can put whatever video you want here, put their name and their email, boom, and they submit. Okay, we'll just look at some of these. They're really good looking. Okay. And I know this is cutting off on your screen, but you can go to the website and check these out. Okay, but you can see, I mean, there's some really good looking capture pages here. Enter your name and email, get instant access right now. Again, you can use video, you can use an ebook, you can use whatever you want to use. Okay, so you get the idea from that. And you can go DaleCalvert.com. This is wrong. It's actually DaleCalvert.com/LC pages to access it. I don't know. Somehow we got DaleCalvert.com in there twice. It's only supposed to be there once. But there's 25 to choose from. So step one is you choose which lead capture page you want. You say, okay, Dale, we want number 9, let's just say. Okay, that's step number 1. And then step number 2 is write down and customize your headlines and your bullet points. Say, Dale, I want this to be my headline. You aren't telling me, you're actually telling the development team, which I'll explain in a second. This is the headline. This is the one I want my box to say. This is the video I want to use. Here's the URL on YouTube. Okay, now I'm going to personally review these just to make sure there's no red flags and you're not saying something that you shouldn't be saying. I will review these personally. Okay, that's the second step. Pretty simple. Step 3 is you need hosting. To have a website, you need web hosting. We are only using Bluehost because Bluehost is the most credible, it's the most economical, it's the most reliable hosting service that we could recommend to you at this time. Now, I use about 4 or 5 different hosting services. I use Bluehost as well. If I had the time to migrate everything to Bluehost, it's on my to-do list to get that done, but it's like number 217 of things I need to get done. And but Bluehost is very reliable. Now, you have to go, please hear me, step 3 is go to this affiliate URL and order your web hosting package. It's DaleCalvert.com/Bluehost. Yes, it's an affiliate link because it's going to help us offset some of our cost here to get this customized for you. Okay. Plus, it's the best hosting for you. When you go there, you're going to see this page. They offer a basic, a plus, and a pro. All you need is the basic. You don't need the plus. You don't need the pro. You need the basic. The basic is 12. If you prepay 12 months, it's $5.95. 24 months is $4.95. 36 months, $3.95. If you're long term, entrepreneurial minded, you're building a business, I would do the 36 months. Now they're going to automatically check all this stuff. You don't need any of this, just uncheck it. So at 36 months, it would be $142.20, and your hosting is covered for 3 years. Okay, 3 years up front, you're good to go. You're ready to roll. Imagine some of you have been around 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 years. You've heard a bunch of times the money is in the list, but you've never developed a list. Some of you have had lists and autoresponder and email delivery campaigns that were provided to you by the companies, and the companies went out of business. Step 4, you go to AWeber. It's affiliate URL as well. Order your autoresponder service, DaleCalvert.com/AWeber. Why AWeber? It's the oldest, most reliable service on the internet. It's the best value, 30 days free, than $19. It's reliable, it's credible, gives you full control, and their email delivery rates are fantastic. There's a lot of people using email delivery services, and the emails only end up in the spam folders of people. That's not good. It does you no good to have a list of 1,100 people if every time you send out an email it goes to their spam folder. The other reason is all software and promotional programs always integrate with AWeber. It's like the granddaddy. If you go look at any software, it'll say we're compatible with, and it'll name a few autoresponder services. AWeber is always number one on that list because that's what most people are using. It's been around the longest. The other reason AWeber is they're really improving as far as their training that they're providing their members. And the most important reason is the deliverability. And some of you think, well, Dale, you don't use AWeber. Oh, yes, I do. Again, I have 4 different autoresponder services that I use. One shopping cart is my number one, but some of our niche services we use AWeber. And again, this is a rub for me. And some of you can relate. Some of you have paid $19 or $30 or $40 a month to have a lead capture system with XYZ company. And usually a high-level distributor set this up, and that's cool. That happens a lot of times. I've helped people set up lead capture pages for different companies at different times, and I've done it myself. I mean, I haven't done any of the technical stuff, but I help people put it together and with the back ends. And then the guru that was selling this for $39 a month all of a sudden leaves the company and joins another company and shuts down the service. What happened to all those email addresses? Some of you are wondering how so-and-so developed a list of X number of people. There you go. And again, I'm not going to go down that road. All I want to know, I want you to be able to control it. AWeber's a third-party provider, reliable, credible, been around forever. So if something happens in a year, for whatever reason, you leave XYZ company, or they get shut down, or they close down, or whatever, you still have an asset, which is your database. This is an asset that you're building. Those of you that have been around for a while, okay, imagine if you had this set up when you first started. I was probably one of the first 200 customers of AWeber. This is way back in the early 90s when they started. and I had AWeber for a couple years, and I wasn't consciously trying to build a list, but I saw the value, because what this does, it will automatically send emails out for you sequentially as we set these up. So you can be on vacation, somebody hits your lead capture page, they get a message, 3 days later they get another message, 5 days later they get another message, then that you invite them to your online webinar, and it's all automated, it's all pre-written, and it's all customizable to them. If you're not sure how an autoresponder system works, guys, it's really worth it. It's incredible what these will do for you. It's not just about building a database. It's about automating your follow-up. It's beyond cool. So this was in the early 90s. I was one of the first 200 AWeber, and then a couple years later, this guy, internet guy, said, Dale, I can set the whole thing up for you. And he said, well, how much are you paying AWeber? And I think even back then it was maybe $17 a month. And he said, well, I can do all that for you. It won't cost you anything. I said, okay, fine. So he did. And that operated for about 3 or 4 years. I built a list of over 100,000 subscribers at MLMhelp.com. Over 100,000 network marketers. This is like mid-90s. 97, 98. Then partner disputes, among other things. Bottom line, they went in and deleted my entire email list of over 100,000 people. What do you do? Well, I had a friend. She was starting her own autoresponder system. I was trying to support her. So I got to build a list again. I built that list up to 36,000 people. This was like in a year or so. That's where my newsletter was. It was connected with MLMhelp.com. She ended up selling the business, cashed out. Good for her. Glad she did. She created an asset, sold it. I get that. No problem. About 6 months later, I go to log into this system. Website's gone. It's shut down. Lost another list of 36,000. And by this time, everybody was thinking, it's not cool when you log on to hear, you've got mail. So then all of a sudden, email list building became a little bit more difficult. We built it back up. I think we have over 50,000 subscribers now on MLMhelp.com, and we have a good email list in some of our other niche companies. But the ability to send an email to a group of people automatically or on demand whenever you want is powerful. You've heard 1,000 times how important it is. So I wish I'd started with AWeber, or I started with them and stayed with them, but I didn't, and I've learned from that mistake. I have learned. So this is what your investment looks like, guys. VIP service, that's for our time, our developers' time, customizing this site, all that. It's $97. If you're a training club member, it's $37. If you're a Leadership Development Academy member, it's free. You send payment to dtcalvert@gmail.com through PayPal for that. So we'll say it's $37 because most of you listening are training club members. Then you need web hosting. You can decide which, don't go beyond the basic because you don't need more than that. But if you want to go 1 month, 2 months, or 3 years, and I didn't mention this earlier, but that also includes your domain name. So I would go yourname.com if it's available. If you're a leader, if you don't use it for anything else but the back end that I showed you with the 20 reasons and the weekly progress reports, even if you don't need it for a lead capture standpoint, hopefully you see the value of the lead capture pages or the back end company reports, submitting once a week, and what that will do for you as a leader and do for your team to help them get in the rhythm of the business. So just an example, if you're doing 3 years, okay, that's $142.20 up front. You get 30 days free AWeber. Again, when you go to DaleCalvert.com/AWeber, then it's $19 a month after that for your first 500 leads. So the templates and all that, there's no charge. You just pick the one you want to use, and we're good with that. There's no charge on that at all. So if you go with the 3 years, it's $97 a month. We've already talked about that. Okay, so let's just say you do 3 years. You do the 3 year hosting. You do the say $37 or $97, whichever it is. Then after that, your ongoing cost is $19 a month for your first 500 leads. Okay, it's $19 a month to AWeber. Paid directly to AWeber. Ongoing $19 a month investment for the second most important tool every serious network marketing business builder should own. I believe that with everything within me. Drop cards, number one. Lead capture page, your own email system, number two. In today's marketing world, it's critical. And people put it off. Good people have put it off, never bitten the bullet because it was confusing. They didn't understand. And how does this work? And I get all that. I get that. I hear that all the time. But guys, okay, let's get past that and move on because this is a critical tool. If you have questions, send them minimumsuccesspodcast@gmail.com. Now, I want to cover the top 3 questions because I know I'm going to get this, and then I'm going to shut this down. Some of you are thinking, Dale, I get it. I'm ready. What do I do? I'm ready to go. I want just the back end, Dale. I got to do the back end. I want to implement that with my team. I had somebody last night that they have a team of 17,000 people, and they said, Dale, will you come on a conference call and explain this concept to my people and how they can use it? Because, see, here's what happens, guys. When you have your page, and I want to talk to leaders for a minute, and you have your page, and it says, johndoetrainingpage.com, that we're setting this up where every person on your team will have their own individual login and password. Okay, this is a pretty elaborate plug-in, expensive, several $100, almost $300 on the back end of this thing. So, but the answer is if you have a huge team, I will talk about, I told him I would because I knew him. He's an old friend. But, guys, I'm here to support you every way I possibly can. My issue always has been, always will be, especially now, is time. But if that can't help you, if you have a huge team, say, Dale, because I know by helping you and helping your people get in that rhythm, it's going to make a positive impact on the entire industry, which is good for my grandkids. It's good for all of us. So if you're ready to go, DaleCalvert.com/VIP setup. Write that down anyway if you're listening, because it's going to walk you through all the links, everything I've shared with you. It's right there. It's all there. Everything I've shared with you is right there. Here's the link. Go here. Get your hosting. Go here. Get your AWeber. Go here. Pick out your lead capture page. It's all right there laid out for you at DaleCalvert.com/VIP setup. Okay, again, this service will be stopped on Sunday, June 5th at midnight or when we reach capacity. Now, if you happen to be watching this a year or so down the road, that means we reopened it. We may reopen it. There'll be a button here. Okay, but this is not something we plan on doing ongoing. I'm doing it again. I want my web guy to be done with this in 30 days with the people that join this weekend, and then he and I both can reevaluate, what's the best move from this point on. Because this is a major undertaking to do it right and do it the way we're doing it. So and again, we don't own any of this. It's your hosting. Okay, you can upload another website to this and take this down if you want to down the road. It's totally yours. You control it. The list, which is the most important aspect, you will always control. Nobody can ever shut down anything and take it, because unless AWeber shuts down, and that's probably not going to happen. That's a real good solid bet that they're going to be here probably after we're gone. But Sunday, June 5th, is when we're shutting this down, or when we reach capacity. And I think at the time of this recording this morning, I looked, it was like, I want to say 17 slots or something. Okay. First question, Dale. Uh, what if we already have hosting or an autoresponder? Can we use that? I hate to say this, but no, you can't. I'm not in the lead capture page business, have no desire to be. None. So, no, you can find somebody else that can do this. And if you want the templates, I'll give them to you if you're a training club member. It's not about, this is not about a profit. It's about making sure that the people that I'm working with have the tools that they need to progress and move forward in their business. Period. End of story. That's what it's about. So because of that, because of the customization that we're doing, we have to make sure everything's on Bluehost because it makes it easier to transfer some of the files, most of the files, and then he can go in and customize to you, to your email address, to your AWeber account, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so no, if you have GetResponse, can I use my GetResponse account? That's an autoresponder, an email delivery system. No, you cannot. No. Dale, I have what is that one that everybody has and all the emails end up in spam? Oh, what is it? I can't remember. I want to say it's an animal's name, like hippo or something. It's not hippo, but you probably know but anyway, no. The question is going to be, if you send it, how many people do you have in your existing email account? Say, Dale, I got 233. Okay, if you send an email to those 233 and say, hey, guys, if you want to stay updated on what's happening in my business, I've got a free gift for you. I'm going to send you a sample of our product. I just need you to go here and subscribe. How many of the 233 would follow you to your new system? If you're thinking, well, the right ones, that would probably be the right answer. But again, it's up to you guys. I'm just looking long term what makes the most sense for you. Question 2. Dale, why should I use this instead of my XYZ lead capture page that my company or Upline Guru is providing? I'm not saying that you should. That's your call. I think the back end of what we're doing is worth $10,000 minimum, because I know how it helps people get into a rhythm and what it does for you as a leader as you start really getting in touch with what people really want and the progress they're doing and what they're really doing, what kind of activities they're really doing, and I know the value. It's one of the secrets that we started in 1983 with a written form. And some of you have been involved with some of our teams over the past, and you know this is something we always implemented. You know that, and you know the value because some of you have experienced it. Dale, should I use this instead of my? It's up to you guys. I mean, I talked to somebody yesterday and I said, look, I know the lead capture page you're using with your company. I think it's awesome. I would keep it. But you're a leader and you have an organization, a good organization. It's worth whatever the investment turns out to be just for the lead just for the 20 reasons and the monthly progress report. Question 3. I know we will. What about training to use the system? I'm trying to set this up as set and forget, and then all you have to do is just promote your page to get people to come and opt in. However, I'm going to do a training on the options that WordPress Optimized Press provides and the basics of the AWeber email delivery system, just to make sure everybody's clear on that. There's a lot of training out there on AWeber. There's a lot of training on Optimized Press, but you can add your own videos. You can add all kinds of stuff. We are putting also in the back of your particular home office, I might have already mentioned this, but it's a PDF of the best email sequences by some of the top marketers that have ever walked the planet. Is also going to be in the articles section there. It's like a 300 or 400 page document, if memory serves me correct, that will be phenomenal for you guys. Somebody asked about that last night, and I found it today, and I've got the rights to do that, so I'm doing that. I'm putting that back there for you. And anything else I can find that'll help you. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to cover with you. Let me go back. If you're ready, DaleCalvert.com/VIP setup. If you have questions, mmsuccesspodcast@gmail.com. Until Sunday night, I will try to answer those for you guys. We'll keep this up. It may be something we'll do again. But I'm excited about this because it's going to take some of the pressure off of me, because it's hard for me to work with people that don't have the foundational systems in place. So I needed to do this definitely for the industry, but for you guys as well. Some of you think, well, Dale, I've got a lead capture page. I've got this. I've got that. Okay, then that's fine. Use that. It doesn't matter to me. It honestly doesn't. I've said everything I think I needed to say. I've told you my horror stories of losing a list of 100,000, another list of almost 40,000. I know that many of you listening to me right now, this is something that you've known for a long time that you needed to do, and you've never bit the bullet and done it. Bite the bullet and do it. When it's all said, it's going to be a $19 a month investment, and the ability to follow up with people that you talked to 6-7 months ago, or to send a group email, a personalized group email to 1,000 people saying, hey guys, hope things are going well. Just wanted to give you an update on my business. I'm on my company trip. Things are going awesome for us. Hope things are going awesome for you. If you ever decide that you want to investigate this business model in more detail, I'll always be here to help you. Have a great weekend. Your name and your phone number. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's other things that you can do. And see, again, you set this up sequentially, where it goes out automatically without you type it once, and you never have to do it again. And again, we'll walk you through all this if you aren't familiar. But hopefully this has made sense, guys. I appreciate you being with me, watching this webinar. I thank you for being with me. Hopefully you understand why I felt like I needed to take some time today and just make sure I got this done, because for the leaders as well, the people that are people that plan on building growing teams. I'm telling you, the 20 reasons and the weekly progress report, helping people get in a rhythm, it's just stuff that just makes all the difference. There's all the difference. So thanks for being with us. I'll talk to you. I hope you can make it with us next Thursday on the No Fluff Network Marketing Leadership webinar. I hope you enjoyed this overview replay, and hopefully we'll get it recorded next week. I will. If we don't, I'm probably not going to do this again. But I needed to take the time today because I want to get this closed out, and I will close it out Sunday night, midnight, regardless. But it's like people told me, Dale, I'm not going to be there, but I've registered because I want to make sure I see the replay. And it's like now I have no replay. And then I had people texting me, emailing me last night, Dale, I'm going to do this. I want to look at the replay again. And it's like there is no replay. So hope you found it valuable. Appreciate you guys more than you know. Talk to you soon. Have an awesome weekend.